Shalom. This is your brother Barrow and giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Kodash. Yahweh be name of the Heavenly Father, the creator of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. The God which the scriptures speak of, and Yahweh Shai is only begotten Son, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And of course, the Rakak, Kodash, which is the Holy Spirit. The born us to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule well, teaching pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, helping to wake up and to seal the elect of the nation of Israel. And salutations to your sincere Archimedes that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so now more so than ever. Alright, so what we're going to go into today is, I'm going to be doing a response to this video right here, this one, where it says God is not coming to save black people. So the title of this video will be, will, and this part will be in quotes, will God, and the God will be in quotes, come to save the black man? And of course, this guy right here, that is talking, how it is, people, how it is, random to third, the random to third niggas, if you'll excuse my language, come out to the highways and byways, see the others and apostles preaching this gospel in truth and sincerity, You see the Israelites out there doing in the highways and byways, teaching the gospel. When you hear us say that we are leaving everything to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, that it is Yahweh Shai that will come and save, the elect at the end of the day. They'll come and save the elected nation of Israel at the end of the day. That is the Most High that will come and save us. These 2/3, they go out of their way to fulfill the prophecy that is written up in Hosea 4:6. Where it says, you know how it goes now. You know how it goes. Hosea 4:6. This is the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. Let me just quickly read it out for you. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I also will reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. So they go and the prophecy is in Hosea 4:8. The prophecy is in Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 22. I'll go to that one as well. And all those prophecies speak about is how stupid our people are. How stupid the average Israelite is, especially concerning the things of the Most High, especially concerning the knowledge and the truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. So this brother right here, this man, he comes out to the highways and byways, he sees the others and apostles preaching out the gospel of truth. The gospel, they see them preaching the gospel in truth and sincerity, He hears them say that Yahweh is going to come and save us at the end at the end, before he destroys Babylon in the grave. And he's, in his own mind, because he does, because as the scripture says in Romans chapter 11 as well, that let me go to that as well. Salakia. I'm trying to get I can't get my point across because all these pieces keep popping into my mind. It says in Romans 11 where it says that how did it go again? Here it is. Romans 11:7, and it reads, "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded." They've been blinded by the Most High. They've been blinded by the Most High, so that they will not be able to see this. So that they will be able to see or understand what the other apostles are teaching out there. So in their own limited understanding, they come up with this crazy doctrine that God is coming to save black people. Even though we have never once opened our mouth to ever say that, no Israelite has ever come out and say that God is going to save black people. What we always say is that God is going to save the Israelites, and not just any Israelites, the elect of the nation of Israel. And I read that chapter in Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained this. Meaning that the elect of Israel are the ones that will obtain this, obtain this truth, obtain salvation, and the rest were blinded. So that's what we teach. We teach that the salvation that we speak of, Yahweh is only coming back for the elected nation of Israel. But then these 2/3 black people, these Negroes, especially these Christian Negroes, they'll come out and say that, what we're saying is that God is coming to save black people. We have never once used the name, we never once said that somebody calls God is coming to save a group of people called black. First of all, something that is bearing a title cannot come and save a group of people that is bearing a color. What we say is that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai the most high power of the nation of Israel is coming to save his people, the elect of his people. It's as simple as that, you know. It's that simple, you know. What? Let me think. What precepts can I get to prove that? You know, maybe I can use Matthew 1:20. Yeah. Let me use Matthew 1:20 as a precept to back that up. I believe is that Matthew 1:20 or 21. So he reads this book of Matthew chapter 1 verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh, for he shall save his people from their sins. And that is who is coming back to do the saving. Yahweh is coming back to save his people, which are the elect of the nation of Israel, you know, because you always see that there are two Israels, you know, the one third and the two third, and that's going back to Zechariah 13:8. I think it's I can't Saki, I'm going to have to get that one as well. I can't remember the exact chapter it is. Where it breaks down Israel into one third and two thirds. Okay, Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8, and it reads, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third part shall be left therein. All right. So there is no God coming to save any black people. You know, that's the most. That at least the brother was right about that part. No God, ain't no God coming to save any black people. The only people that are getting saved are the elect nation of Israel, are the elect of the nation of Israel. You know, and the person that's coming to save them is not God. You know, his name is not somebody behind name. No God coming to no. In fact, no God is coming to save anybody. When these two texts talk about God, they're actually talking about their father Esau. You know, that person says in the book of Matthew, you know, that of your father the devil, and that father that Yahweh was speaking of is Esau. So when these people talk about God, they're talking about Esau, and Lord knows that Esau ain't coming to save you so-called blacks, you know. You people that refer to yourself as black, people that are part of the congregation of the dead, you know, and they have put that name upon yourselves, black, which is basically the name that a dead Israelite, specifically an Israelite from the southern kingdom, will give himself, you know, black, black Negroes, whatever you want to call it. So that is their name, you know. That's the name that they'll give them. So these spiritually dead two thirds. You know, let me get a picture concerning spiritually dead Israelites. You know, scripture says that when you stray from the path of knowledge, that you will be part of the congregation of the dead. So let's go to that. So this is the book of Proverbs chapter 21 verse 16, and it reads, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And that's basically what these people that think that, you know, either these people that think that God is coming back to save black people, or these people that think that God is not coming back to save black people. And these people that believe that they are black people, they are part of the congregation of the dead, you know. Your nationality cannot be a color. And not even and you attribute that color to your skin color when your skin isn't even that color. The font on this video is black. The part of the screen that is the part of the screen that is cropped out is black. This man's skin is brown. His hair is black. So do you understand these things? These people, they attribute a skin color to themselves, but they don't even. They attribute a certain color to their skins, but they are not even that color. You know. But that is beside the point. What I'm speaking of right now is whether God is actually coming to save black people, and the answer is no. First of all, Esau doesn't give a damn about you black people, man. You know, Esau doesn't give a damn about you people that call yourselves black. You know, you so-called black people. Esau doesn't give a damn about you. As you clearly can see with the recent events that have been occurring this month. You know, with the protests about police violence and all that shit. You know, and the reason why I consider Esau, you know, a god is because that's what he has made himself in this world. You know, he has made himself the god of this world, and we'll get that in the book of 2 Thessalonians, you know, because there's actually a precept concerning that the scripture says that, you know, that Esau in those days, that Esau in this time would turn himself into the Most High. So this is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let's start from verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And many of our people are falling away to to this devil's doctrine, you know, to worship this devil as a god, to make himself a god. You know, that's why the scripture says that all those people that worship the beast, in the book of Revelation chapter 15 or 16, I believe, that all those people that worship the beast and take his mark, because at the end of the day, this beast represents Esau and his entire system. All these people, they know they admit this Esau has made his entire system a veritable God to be worshipped, and his face and his image is at the center of it. And this goes back to Job chapter 9, verse 24, where it says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and it covered the faces of the judges thereof. These judges, the main two judges, which is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, which are worshipped as gods because they are the only two creatures in this entire universe that can be considered, that can be worshipped as gods, because every other, the scripture says all other gods are idols, made out of wood and stone. They have eyes but they cannot see. They have ears but they cannot hear. They don't exist. But the only two gods that exist on this planet is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. While the rest are just what? While the rest are just creations. Those are the only. There's only one creator, which is Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai, which is also part of the creators, and the elect as well. But that's an advanced topic that is beside the point. What I'm focusing on right now is just, Esau claiming that he is God. And I continue from verse 4. Who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God seated in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And this is what Esau does. He put up his own image as the Most High, and the Apostle Gabbar recently touched on that. The history of Esau changing the images of Yahweh Shai and Yahweh into their own images. With Serapis Christus, with Cesare Borgia, and with the Renaissance, with iconoclasm, and with modern Christianity as a whole. When this man says God is not coming to save black people, he's actually saying that Esau, the so-called white man, is not going to save you black people. Not only because he can't, but because he won't, because of his perpetual hatred that is spoken of in, I believe that is either Ezekiel, I believe that is in Ezekiel the 35th chapter. So I have to go to that because I don't remember whether it's actually the Ezekiel 35th chapter. Because the perpetual hatred that Esau had for his brother Jacob. You can also read about that in Genesis the 29th chapter, where Esau said that where Esau had hatred because allegedly our father Jacob stole his birthright. But that is basically like that birthright was given. That birthright was always Jacob's. Esau never had a chance. Anyway, this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5, and it reads, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And in case you people that aren't in this truth didn't understand, this precept right here is the reason why people are protesting police brutality, because that perpetual hatred that Esau had, because he shed the blood of his brother Jacob, because he shed the blood of Israelites, even after we had served our punishment, when we were coming back to our home, or rather the elect were coming back into the process, when they were in the process of coming back to their power. You shed the blood of the two-thirds, and even though they are sinners, even though they deserved what came to them, they were still Israelites. They are still the apple of the Most High's eye, and you can't just kill. You can't just kill an Israelite. You can't just kill an Israelite, even the most wicked of them. You can't just kill them and expect to go scot-free. That's a judgment. That's the son of the Most High. That's the son of the God of this world. You can't just kill him and expect to go scot-free, even though he was going off. The devils are going to get what's coming to you. But anyway, that's another topic, a completely different topic. What we're focusing on right now is this whole God is not coming to save black people. So, maybe I should let a little bit of this video play, and because I wanted to just answer the guy a little bit, before I close out, because I'm mostly focused on one thing. But this video had a lot of talking points. But anyway, let this video play.
Intervene when black women were being raped. If God did not intervene when Africans were being snatched from Africa, if God did not intervene when white male slave owners were practicing pedophilia on black children in slavery, if God didn't intervene when black men and women were being hung and babies cut out of our sisters' stomach, if God didn't intervene when the penises were castrated and the toes cut off in the slave master's name, branded in your flesh, if God didn't intervene then, guess what? Why in the hell would God intervene now when those very same people?
Okay, first of all, Esau's not going to intervene in the matter in something that he enjoys to do, which is killing you and you to thirds, man. Esau's not going to intervene in that. Secondly, secondly, if this man had a little bit of understanding, he would understand that. So, yeah, when all those things that were happening to Israel, when we are going through this, the chattel slavery, transatlantic slave trade, it wasn't that the Most High wasn't intervening, but rather it was that the Most High was the one that was behind this. It was the Most High that strengthened Esau's hand to be able to take us into captivity. It was the Most High that strengthened Esau's hand to do all those things which he did to us, and it's still the Most High that is strengthening his hand to continue to do this. The scripture says in the Micah chapter 2 verse 1 now, go to them that devise iniquity on go to them that devise iniquity on their bed, when the morning light, because it is in the power of their hand to do so. And who gave them that power? It was none other than the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua himself. Because the Most High gave Esau that power to put Jacob into captivity. He used Esau as a sword to punish us for our iniquities, because during that time, we can say confidently that no Israelite was keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and doing the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. During the time before the slave trade, you had Israelites scattered all over the place, Europe, Africa, North America. That's the places that was mostly concentrated with them, and they were all going off, going off one way or another. Some of them are keeping the laws, but keeping a few laws out of over 600 isn't enough. And secondly, it is not as secondly, people always bring up all this stuff, whenever they try to blame God for something, they always talk about like, you once warned, like nobody knew that this was coming, that you're always surprised, that they open their eyes like, why is this happening? They always ask that question, why is this happening? Like the scriptures don't tell you clearly why it would happen, But this is all a result of that plantation Christianity. Because they don't understand it, because not only do they not understand the Bible, but they don't know it at all. They have no idea what's written inside the Bible. This is why, people come up with this confusion, like they're so surprised about what is going on in the world right now. But guess what? I could go into the Deuteronomy chapter 28 or even Leviticus. I could go into Leviticus chapter 27, I believe, or Deuteronomy chapter 28 to read all the curses and everything that this man said, in the first. The part of the video that I played I can read out for you in the courses. I can read out where exactly it was written in the courses, whether it's what people being carried into slavery in the courses, whether it's what boys and girls being sold and raped in the courses, whether it's what sisters, the women being beaten and raped and having their babies cut out of them in the courses, It's not, and this isn't even the first instance of it happening. When Babylonians took the Israelites captive, they did the exact same thing. Cut women's bellies open and reach out the babies from their stomachs. That is, that's just how that is just how war goes. That's nothing new, man. Even our people, did it to the Canaanites, because of all the evils that they committed. But that's beside the point. Let me just get a few of these courses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, and let me start from let's start from 15. So this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15, and it reads, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So in other words, if you don't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, all these curses will fall upon you and overtake you. And what are these commandments? The laws and the prophets. If you don't listen to the words of the law and the words of the prophets, all these curses will come upon you. And let me just go into the ones that he spoke about. Let's see. Let me start from. Sakia. Looking for the ones we're looking for. Alright, let me read. let me just there are a lot of them. Yes, let me just go to. Let me start from Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And Jehovah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I speak unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more, and there shall ye be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. In other words, no man shall redeem you. That is a very brief summary of the transatlantic slave trade. That what happened to all the Israelites, including the Latinos and Native Americans. You are sold to your enemies, who is none other than Esau Edom. The same people the same people that are shooting Jake in the streets, basically lynching them, executing them, just because of the color of their skin, simple as that, and that's come to the point where nobody can deny it anymore. So with that, out through the spirits, this was an edifying lesson. I like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rekakodash. Shalom.